Hello. Upon request, I've been asked to demonstrate how I smooth down the white strong flexible material that Shapeways print some of their stuff in. Okay, so the model that I'm going to do it with as a demonstration is my Furnace K2 V3, simply because I haven't built it yet. I've got it, but I haven't done it up yet. It's not really a K2 anymore, it's kind of been rebuilt several times, but it's for my own purposes. You can have one if you wish. So this is what it comes like. It must be noted that the whistle isn't there now because I had to take them off. I had issues with print intolerances and all the rest of it, so if a few of you had your orders failed by Shapeways and they cancelled it, I apologise for that. It's all sorted now. If it's not, I'm going to have to throw this at them. Right, so the disadvantages of this, obviously, it's a bit grainy. Okay, that's pretty obvious now, and it's not the most crispest material, basically, but I hope you can see there's nothing really particularly wrong with that. I like these because another advantage is this. They're pretty good. Nothing's broke off yet. I'll drop on the step and it's fine. So you do that with resin, you probably ain't going to have the same result. It might crack in places or shatter or whatever. So when it arrives, these are actually two guard irons here, but I took them off because I needed them. You have the smoke box door there, the buffers at the back here. The reverser rod is there, screwed on, so you just cut it off here. And apart from that, it's pretty much done. You have to add your own little handrail bits. Holes already drilled out. Well, they've indented, you have to drill them out. I've already drilled them out here, but they've already indented. And it's pretty much complete. I mean, compare this to a typical brass kit, this is mostly done for you. So, to smooth it off, it's not particularly scientific, it's very simple. I start off with P600 paper, like brazier paper, wet and dry, different names for it, emery paper, whatever. And you just plug away. Keep feeling it, checking it. Nothing particularly scientific, anybody can do this. Yeah, obviously you get better at anything with practice, but you know, it's not particularly hard. The only thing you've got to watch out for is you don't want to be knocking off details. So for the border bands, for instance, you don't want to smooth over those too much because you're going to lose definition. Right, but you can just keep plugging away. Then you can move on to this stuff, which is finer. It's 1500 grit, and same again. Or you can fold it in. You can fold it to get a bit more stiffness, to get into corners better. I'll use this. It's an old diamond file, and if you can see on there, it's already had a lot of gummy stuff put in because that's basically primer. So once this has got primer on it, you can basically just wet it, and you can get into the crannies a bit better. Okay, getting inside the cab, that's a different story. If this keeps going out of focus, I apologise, it's a bit awkward, but do what I can. And getting the side sheets ain't too hard, but the actual details themselves, best to just leave those. Okay, now that's pretty much it for the first part. Again, very, very simple. Once you've done that, I like to use this. This is what I was directed to. I tried it, it works really well. Plastic filler primer from Halfords. This top. Okay, so that's the product to you. That's it, really. Sometimes, once it's had a few going overs, I use this one here. Don't always, but you get a different result. Okay, so you got your Tamiya surface primer. This is a lot finer than car stuff. You get a better result for your fineness as a top coat. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take you outside, show you how to spray this, and then I'll come back in. Okay, so we're outside. Because it's a little bit wet, it's not the best time to spray, but I'm just going to have to put up with it for now. Cake decorating turntable makes life easier. Right, you want to be spraying from 8 to 12 inch, roughly. You don't spray on the mouldy, spray off, go through and let go. Okay, so like that. And when it's shiny, that's obviously where it's wet. Okay? Obviously give it a good shake first. That way, doesn't matter. When this is dried, turn it upside down and try and get under the boiler. Some bits are harder to get at, obviously. Now with this as well, it doesn't matter to me so much if you give it a thick coat. That's what I tend to do. Give it quite a thick one to start with, because you're going to rub most of it off anyway. It's very difficult in the wind. That should do for now. And we're back in the room. Right, so gave it 5-10 minutes. Oops. You can see the bubbles still, the little texture on it. If it focuses, that is. Well, it's the same thing now. I tend to go for the smoother stuff from this point onwards. And if you do it where it's if you rub it whilst it's dry, you get one effect. I hope you can see it's already smoother. But if you, let's say, wet that, I'm just going to lick it. I know it's not health and safety happy, but just use water if you don't want to. And you start going in circles. Well, it doesn't matter if you go in circles or not, but I tend to, for the most part. It makes like a cream. And then that cream will fill the gaps. Okay? Trying to get the angle of the light. Now there's still some texture, and there will be. I have to go over this usually about 2 or 3 times. So you rub it down, you'll spray it, you rub it down, spray it, and then I'll rub it down and spray it again. I tend to do it 3 times. It does take a while, so getting around it takes a bit of effort, a bit of time. You have to go over pretty much everything. But eventually you'll get a very smooth surface. It's just getting into the nooks and crannies is a difficult bit. Right. Now it's focused nicely. I can see the texture again. And that spraying session I just showed you, towards the end it seemed a little extreme, but really it's not. This is quite thinly coated. Ideally I should have put more primer on. Because as I said to start with, you're going to rub most of it off. Right, you can see as well the ridges on top of the splashes, so it's exactly the same thing. You just keep going over it. To get in here under the boiler, it can be a bit of a ball ache. And oops, knock the camera. And sometimes I just find it easy to use a very fine, smoothed off file. You can see it's smooth by there. But again, if you wet that, just gently plug away. It's good for getting into the details. When it comes to the pressure, whether you go backwards and forwards or whether you go in circles, that'll depend entirely on your own decision, skill, feel, the paper you're using, how much room you've got to actually move. Hope you can see that's a lot smoother. Feels a lot smoother. There's not so much of that graininess. You can hear the difference as well. And that's basically it. You just keep going over it. Finish doing that off. Spray it. Oops, that's not very good, is it? Spray it again. Go over it again. Spray it again. Go over it again. Or for the third coat, like I said, I like to use a Tamiya sometimes. They give you a different effect. Now, just a point on all these models. Whether you buy any version of the K2 or these freelance ones, any version of the K2 will fit any of the chassis. They're all designed to be common. So the bottom piece, the geometry here, doesn't change. So it'll all fit. Same goes for the other engines as well. So I hope that video, as simple and quick as it's been, has hopefully alleviated some fears and gave you a bit of confidence. That's it really. The next video I'll actually be building this up. So you see this smoother, and I'll take you through a stage by stage process of getting a running chassis and this fitted on. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.